Dun, 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 dun. On World News Tonight. Hello, people. This is another episode of the Black Raspberry Radio Show, S.STREET Media Radio Show, broadcast on live365.com. How y'all doing on this day? And the New York Knicks are in the next round of the playoffs because that guy Brunson, Biggie Smalls, wherever your soul is at, brother, I'm taking that crown off your head because the king of New York is Mr. Brunson. Because they killed Philadelphia. Good series with Philadelphia, but that game the other night, I think Thursday night, that was the most exciting damn game I have ever seen in my life since Charles Barkley played against Michael Jordan 1993 NBA Finals Game 5, and they went to the double overtime. Because I'm still mad that Charles Barkley lost against Michael Jordan, and that happened 31 goddamn years ago. Yo, what's up, people? You know, today I said, I might talk about child support. I don't want to talk about over-sexualizing of kids, which that's bad in our schools. We don't went past gender. We don't went past nationalism. And it's about sex. And, that's bad. But we're not going to talk about this week. We're going to talk about my music travel. I'm 51. I think that I probably wanted to be in the music business ever since I was 19 years old. From me reading my mother's albums, the credits that was on my mother's albums, I will always pick up those albums, whether it's the sound of the 80s or coming out into the late 70s. I would just always pick up the vinyl and always stare. I used to always stare at the vinyls. And, like I said, I wrote some things. I will be using some curse words because I think that within these words, it was my elder cousin's friend. And I'm gonna jump straight to that because I think that you was a bitch ass nigga for turning. I don't want to say that you turned on me. You could have helped me. I was homeless at the time because I had told the story that I tried to be Nino Brown and they shot in my house, and my mother kicked me out. She said, since you want to play big dog, now go out in the street and you live out there in the street because you almost got my mother killed, nigga, because the bullet almost hit my grandmother in her face. But before crack cocaine hit, because crack cocaine changed rap music from the Run DMC sound to the Cool G rap sound. It changed it. And I remember my cousin is class of 1983 out of August Martin High School. And after he left out of August Martin, he left to go to the Army. So this is 1983. And he had a best friend, Dino Pereiro. He's the one that I'm saying is the bitch ass nigga because he was the one that was working for WBLS at the time. And he started working for RCA Records at the time when Wu-Tang is out. At the time when a record company was a record company, where you had many different departments of a record company. You had artist development, you had the A&R, you had radio promotions. You just had so many departments, and I'm like, you can help me. Please help me. I'm homeless. But like I said, I got to go back to you being a bitch ass nigga for not helping me. So like I said, Gary and Dino graduated out of high school in 1983, so crack cocaine didn't hit Brownsville. Wherever crack cocaine hit, because we know that Freebase was already around. Seen it with my aunties, moms, whatever. Not my moms, but whatever. Freebase was around at the time. But crack, that word crack didn't hit. So they left out of Brownsville, 1983. Now they come back. They come back sporadically on their visits, coming back memory lane. So they standing on the corner. And like I said, crack cocaine changed the way rap is spitted out. And sometimes music can really get inside people's heads. And they got into a lot of my childhood friends, my public school friends, those friends that ate free lunch with me, those friends that played in those lots and on pissy mattresses, which we thought was fun. Which that was the most abnormal shit ever, which that's why I always complain about with the stroke of your pen, whether you're black or whether you white, At the stroke of the pen, you was able to build buildings just like that. My childhood was fucked up eating free cheese with them cheese sandwiches was good, which I hate American cheese now. I hate powdered milk, which I haven't had powdered milk all the way back then, but it was harsh times. But that's the time when my cousin and them left out of Brownsville, but they came back on a visit. This is 1990. And my cousin said, and my friends is fighting, but I'm on another friend's porch. My school friends don't see me. And when I say my school friends, I'm talking about those friends from the 3rd grade, the 4th grade, the 5th grade, the 6th grade. Some of them used to come in school smelling pissy. Y'all know how it is when we was kids in them times. Before, I guess, ACS is dictating shit. My cousin said, I got $5 on the one in black. And his friend was like, no, I got $5 on the one in another color. And they heard them say that. And they started marching down to them. And I had to run off that porch and said, please don't shoot them. But at this time, there's a person that has studied the 5%. And when you got a person that's a 5%er and mastered that 120, what Clarence the 13th X wrote, Elijah wrote, Malcolm X wrote, what plus degrees that was added to that literature with a gun, you got the power of I don't want to say religion, because that's not religion. As I say, it's a science, it's a math, it's a way of life. When you got those words on that paper and you walk in the hood with a Mac 11 and you got a lot of these kids around that kind of environment, they gravitated to him. They was going to tear my cousin's ass up until I got off that porch. I'm 16. 1990, I'm 16 years old. 1990, I'm 17 years old. And I ran off that porch and I stopped that shit from happening, that murder from happening, because they would have got shot, they would have got killed. So now we go to the future, 1995. I always say one of my biggest mistakes in trying to break into the music business was me trying to be like a Russell Simmons, or me trying to be so much like Andre Harrell. Not the sexual thing that's going on with them, but that's their business. I'm talking about the music, the management they gave to music. Instead of trying to be like Eric Sherman, the RZA, DJ Premier, Dr. Dre, and actually touching that beat machine, sampling Q-Tip. That's what I think were my biggest ever in trying to break through into the music business. Instead of me trying to be a manager, I should have been touching the board. That's why Dame Dash, no disrespect, that's why you're excommunicated. You didn't produce nothing. Suge Knight, use another one. That's why you got excommunicated out of the music business, because you didn't create anything. You just was the manager. You didn't create the sound. You didn't create nothing. But in any case, I remember bringing my ex-sister-in-law up to RCA Records. That's when they was located on, I think that was 46 and Broadway, the Bertelsmann Music Group. That was right there with that, what was that building, Math, what was that guy that the Virgin Store. The Virgin Store that was owned by the dude that owned Virgin Records. There you go. The Explorer. He's like the fly in space and shit now too. And I brought her up there, 36th floor. I'm like, yeah, Felicia, come on, sing for him. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And she sung from him, and she sounded good. Some of the people came in there. This is the same time when Black Girls is on the record label. I'm a 90s Girl was the song that was out too. And I'm like, Dino, could you help me? Maybe you could get like an artist development. You know, of course he's not going to come right out, but could you help me? And he said no. And Felicia said, it's all right. It's okay. At least I got a chance to just come up to a record company and see this. And I'm like, no, he owed me. I said, Dina, you fucking owe me. He was like, yeah, I know. I remember you saved my life, but I can't help you right now. That shit really hurted. And that was, so many years ago. I said I was going to go in order with me trying to jump in the music business. And I'm going to jump to, I think, really my last stint at really trying really hard. And that was at TVT Records. I had an internship. This is 2007, 2008-ish, when I was graduating out of BMCC. I was going to say BMCC high school, community college, but that shit was like a high school. And I got the internship there, and there was a guy named Sean Bolden. He was with a rap group called 7A3. 7A3 used to open up for the Native Tongues, that movement. Will Smith, the Jungle Brothers, Queen Latifah, Moni in the Middle, that chick, Moni Love, and whoever, Q-Tip, Tribe Called Quest, that, you know, they used to open up for them. But Sean Bolden worked at Interscope Records. Sean Bolden is the one that pushed Tupac's Hit 'Em Up to radio. He is the one that was sending out the vinyls around the nation. Tupac's Hit 'Em Up was radio promoted by Sean Bolden because he was the head of radio promotion over there at TBT Records. And what I didn't like, and I wrote this down, and every people's name that I got written down right here, these motherfuckers is rich right now. They're rich. And I know money don't mean everything, you know, them slave masters on them legal and tender notes that we have in our pocket. These are the names: Little John, Pitbull, the Yin Yang Twins, and Yo Gotti. I was there at TBT Records when they up here in New York City on a New York City label, and I'm like, we're promoting this shit because they was what was out? Snap Your Fingers is out with Little John and my man E40, and I am helping calling the radio stations around the country. This is really before you really pushing that shit through the internet to get it out there. It's really before the YouTube thing of putting and putting your music up on YouTube. This is before YouTube is paying you. That's why Google came and bought YouTube and started paying motherfuckers through there. But I'm like, I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to be a part of this. I'm like, yo, I need the grade. He was like, yo, Lorenzo, I really see that you're frustrated being here. I'm like, yo, I said, it's not that Tupac Biggie Small thing. He's like, Lorenzo, the music done changed. I'm like, but this is New York City. He said, we got to make money. And these people in the South right now is getting the money. And look, Yo Gotti, Yo Gotti, the Yin Yang Twins is like really the only ones that I guess that didn't really capitalize. Maybe they did capitalize, but they don't got that bank. I said Little John, Pitbull, and Yo Gotti. Right now, they got some bank. And I just couldn't take it. And they have come out with great songs since 2006. 2006, 2007. I got there in 2008. So from 2008 to right now, those men, they have produced songs that people like, people love, and they got bank. But I did not like it. I said, Sean, this is not the Crush Groove experience that I wanted, what I expected. Shout out to the Fat Boys. Shout outs to Run DMC. Shout outs to Curtis Blow. Shout out to Sheila. I just watched Crush Groove the other fucking day. And they always push me back into that memory like, damn, like I wanted to be in there so bad. I wanted to be in there so bad. But it just didn't happen. Let me get another one. I got that bitch ass nigga out my way. But going back to reading the credits off the albums, and when I really started paying focus on the albums, I say when Janet Jackson came with Control. Funny How Times Fly, that album, The Control. And I remember me coming across that name, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Flight Time Productions. Like, wow, isn't it those two guys that was with Prince in the Revolution? Yeah, they was in Prince's group. They was producer for Morris Day, Alexander O'Neal, Sherelle. Who else? They produced for a lot of people at that time. So, you know, as those years go on, 86, 87, there's a young man, two young men. Babyface, which was with the group The Deal, him and L.A. Reid, for LaFace Productions, produced a lot of hits. What was that? Karen White. You had Pebbles. Of course, Bobby Brown, because Bobby Brown, Tenderoni is produced by Babyface. So Babyface, Teddy Riley, and Jimmy Jam, a lot of the R&B sound was being kicked out by these three productions. Keith Sweat's first album. Me and my cousin Clayton, sometimes when we drinking and we smoking, best R&B album of all times. Sorry, Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat's first album, Make It Last Forever. That shit was produced by Teddy Riley, which Teddy Riley, you know, got kind of jacked off with his publishing, and you know, it's just that music business has always been some dirty. It's always been some dirty shit, some dirty activities, and robbing people. And sometimes when you take you rob people for their money, you taking that creative juice from out of. You just taking that creative juice out of them. Like, why beat them? Pay them. And the crazy thing is, it's always been going on for so long. One of the songs that I told Math, one of the songs that I told Math to play was Trigger Got No Heart by Spice One. What always captivate me with that song, and I always talk about this guy, Fendi. I'm going to shout him out. My man, Fendi. You know, I don't know if I'm his man, but he my man. But that's Brownsville politics with certain things that has happened, because he has definitely kept Brownsville off of him. And I think that it's a good idea, I guess, if you felt like that. Like, I'm not bringing none of you niggas from Brownsville in my fold to fuck up my shit. And I came to an agreeing to that. I'm like, you know, that's good, because I seen him on Instagram with his mother, and I said, fuck all that shit or who you left behind. Look, your mama's happy, and that is what the most important thing of it is, because you may feel that you niggas from Brownsville is gonna, you know, fuck my thing up. But back to that song, Trigger Got No Heart. At that time when Trigger Got No Heart, now we starting to see the floodgates of West Coast music starting to come over to the New York ear. Like the earwax is coming out of, it's just coming out because everybody was writing Menace to Society, the summer of 1993. And Trigger Got No Heart was one of those songs that was played, and motherfuckers from New York was loving it. And I remember he rose up on me, and I'm on a corner trying to be Nino Brown, which was the stupidest fucking idea, I think, to be selling drugs, because that wasn't even in me and close to my fucking house at that. He was like, yo, you better fold up that package. And somebody is coming down the block, and that song is playing. And I was like, yo, you know, all of us finished watching Menace to Society like 3 or 4 times. He's like, what the fuck that mean? I said, you seen that movie, right? And that song is being played. Trigger Got No Heart coming down the block. I'm like, oh man. Some things, you know, some things in life, and I say with the music of then, and I guess the music of every generation, there's always something that's gonna be woven into your soul. The moment the music, it just gets woven in. Motherfucker came back to my house with a gun. And I think my grandmother wasn't too far from behind me. Maybe because he seen grandma, because grandma had a thing for Fendi, because he's a country ass nigga down near Charlotte, down near North Carolina. And he said, you better stop selling drugs. But in any case, somebody else had the bum rush, because I think that I had the balls to sell the drugs because it was someone above me that had beef with him, and Finney just packed this shit and left. And I think all together, the divine intervention, the universal intervention, it worked out. It worked out for him that he did leave Brownsville. But let me send a shout out to that good old music from way back in the days. That 1970s music, the music that I guess my mother made love to my daddy. And I would think that it would have been Curtis Mayfield. It would have been Al Green. It would have been Marvin Gaye. It would have been Harold Melvin in the Blue Notes. And I'm gonna talk about them right quick. I remember when my mother said that she went to the Apollo and she first seen Harold Melvin in the Blue Notes. She thought that Teddy Pendergrass was Harold Melvin. And it's like, wait a minute, well, who the hell is that guy right there? But as Teddy Pendergrass said that he wasn't getting paid, because I seen that documentary on Showtime. He wasn't getting paid. Harold Melvin wasn't paying him, so he went by himself. And look at that beautiful career that Teddy Pendergrass put out. Love TKO, Come and Go With Me. It's a list of songs that Teddy did. But when Teddy went down with his situation, and it's crazy that transgender situation it's always been, there's nothing new under the sun. Who do you think came in and filled that R&B void? Epic Records already had Michael Jackson. Sony Records, Columbia, what name you want to get it, that entity. Who got rejected by, he's passing out his demo to everybody and people did not want to sign this man? Luther Vandross. House Is Not a Home was the damn demo tape that other record labels turned down. Like, how in the whoop you turn that down? And let me go right quick, because we get ready to wrap this up. We got how many more minutes? We got 4 minutes left. I got into a serious argument. And one of my cousins had actually came up here to S.STREET Media and we had this argument. I said, so who's the better artist at a barbecue? At a black barbecue, at a Negro barbecue, at a black American barbecue, Michael Jackson or Luther Vandross? You're telling me that us black folks eating potato salad, grilled chicken, or whatever, drinking yak, 83, 84, 85, no, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, is listen to Michael Jackson beat it? Or Luther Vandross, Never Too Much? Don't beat me in my head. Yeah, Michael, he sold 50 million records. He ain't better than Luther Vandross. So shout out to Michael Jackson. I ain't taking nothing away from him because that was a smart guy. Because I just came across something. I think Sony came and bought the rest of the Sony catalog for $1.2 billion. Sony at the time, Michael Jackson sold so many goddamn records that Sony didn't have enough money to pay him. And we in the era of vinyl going into that next medium of CD. Who fucking invented the CD? Sony. Sony bought Columbia, Epic, which was Michael Jackson. They still did not have enough money to pay Michael Jackson because he sold so many damn records. Thriller. Again, every time that I heard Michael Jackson, for some reason when I walked up on the block party, Michael Jackson's album was played when they was hooking up the equipment. I never really heard Beat It. When that jam is going, Franklin Beverly and Maze, those kind of songs was played at the block parties. For some reason, Michael Jackson was played when they was hooking up the equipment. No disrespect to Michael Jackson. You're one of the greatest artists of all times. So is R. Kelly. Sick. Oh, God. Oh, God. There's some other things that's sick with human beings. But you know what? They said like some of the geniuses that's been on the planet, whether they was up there in them caves in Europe or whether they was close to the equator, some of the most sickest people are geniuses. Like people, I guess, that make nuclear bombs. Like Oppenheimer. That's sick to make that Adolf Hitler. I don't even want to get off that. Some people is just sick with their creations of life. And again, like I said, I always had this thing that I wanted to get into the music business, and the universe just has not allowed me to get in. And I think that after where we at? I'm 51, started when I was 9. After 40 something years, I said, you know what? Let me just take my fat ass back to college, go get my college degree, and political science. Maybe I could get me a community-based organization and it focuses on music. Because I think that everybody should, which I wish I would have listened to my mama, learn how to play an instrument. What instrument I would love to play? That damn piano, the trumpet, the bass guitar. See, I'm going back to Bootsy Collins. I'm going back to James Brown. Because James Brown said every damn instrument is a drum. I seen that that movie. It was a good movie. So I want to say your peace out to the people. Thanks for tuning in at the Black Raspberry Radio Show, S.STREET Media Radio. It's being broadcast live on live365.com every day at 1 p.m. people. Please tune in because I'm getting ready to retire from this damn job because I'm tired of doing this child support. I'm tired. Right quick before I go. There is more. This is a political statement here. Today I do not have to string your nigger ass to the tree. I just won't give you the job. Peace out, people.